Hey YouTube, Kira Qualia here, bringing you all an update to my Cardfight Vanguard Kheios deck profile for post-Clash of the Heroes. In the latest Cardfight Vanguard booster set, we got new support for all of the glitter decks, Kheios included, with the new support for Kheios being its new Grade 3 form, Soul Oratorio Kheios. And the whole focus of the Kheios deck is just to have an abundance of different named units in your soul to gain additional card effects and still being able to count with the actual persona ride by riding on top of our approaching fangs Kheios Grade 3 Vanguard with the new Grade 3 we have in the deck, and then being backed up with our glitter unit Makane. So let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So for the Ride deck, our starter is one with Profound Mercy, Kheios. The standard when wrote upon, if you went second, draw a card. Our grade 1 is in the Calm Streets Kheios. When wrote upon by Quagmire of Soulless Kheios, reveal the top 2 cards of your deck, put all normal units from among them into your soul, and put the rest in the bottom of your deck in any order. So this card immediately already starts by building up the soul with different normal units for you to use by riding on top of it with our Quagmire of Soulless Kheios. When this unit is wrote upon by Approaching Fangs Kheios, you can soul charge 1, and if the soul charge card was a trigger unit, draw 1 card. If it was a normal unit, choose up to 1 card from your soul and call it to rear guard. So this allows you to set up some of our other cards around the deck, including our glitter unit Makane, from when it is set up in the soul, if we were using some other soul charges as well beforehand. But our main grade 3, along with the new copy Soul Oratorio Kheios, is Approaching Fangs Kheios. On the Vanguard circle once per turn, counter +1, discard a card from your hand, look at the top 3 cards of your deck, choose 1 card from among them, put it into your hand, choose up to 1 unit card from among them, call it to rear, and put the rest into your soul. And on the Vanguard circle, when this unit attacks a Vanguard, if your soul has 8 or more cards with different card names, choose one of your rear guards, it gets plus 10,000. If it has 13 or more, you choose cards with different names, choose all your rear guards instead. So this is the added pressure that this card can provide. But the main play comes in the form of our new grade 3, which we are running 4 copies of the Soul Oratorio Kheios. When this unit is placed by riding from Approaching Fangs Kheios, you may soul charge 3, then choose up to 2 cards from your soul, put 1 card from among them into your hand, and call the rest to rear guard, and activate Persona Ride. So the soul charge 3 at least guarantees that you'll have something to call out, but you want to have a good number of soul built up with your Kheios to begin with. And also, with this card, on the Vanguard circle, once per turn, if your soul has 13 or more cards with different card names, bind an Approaching Fangs Kheios from your soul. So that is the grade 3 here. And then this unit gets, all of your units get plus 10,000, and this unit gets critical +1. At the end of the turn, ride a card bound with this cost for it as rest. So you'll have the Persona Ride, but then you have the added pressure, as long as you have the 13 cards in soul, with your Soul Oratorio Kheios, to then be able to give all the power to your rear guard. But the bonus on top of that is that you have the additional critical for the pressured attack with your Vanguard against your opponents. For the other grade 3 that we run in the deck, 4 copies of Cool-Headed Executor Makane. When this unit is placed on rear guard, counter +1, soul +1, choose one of your opponent's rear guards with the same grade as this card, soul blast for this cost, and retire it. So you have the option, as long as you have the cards to retire, for the opponent on the field and the soul blasted card to take care of that card when it's just placed. And with the Glitter of Kheios ability, when your Vanguard attacks, if your soul has 8 or more cards with different card names, you can stand this unit, and if you stood this unit, put this unit into the soul at the end of the turn. So just as a way to then call it back out later, but also the multiple attacks when you have the 8 or more in soul, and the plus 10 that your Vanguard can provide means that you have the multiple restand power of this card to get the multiple attacks if you have multiple Makane on the field also. And for the new grade 2s, normally you want to have as many different named, units in the deck, but this new grade 2 is just so good for the setup, so you definitely want to run 4. Inciting Corruption, Agamanaf. When this unit is placed on rear, if you have a Vanguard with Kheios in its card name, counter +1, look at the top 2 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 card from among them, put it into your hand, and put the rest in the soul. So it's search and setup just when placed on rear guard. And also for the fact that our main go-to Vanguard now, being our Soul Oratorio Kheios, doesn't require a counterblast. We can save those for our other cards like Makane and our Inciting Corruption Agafmanov. And also from the soul, when your unit with Makane, its card name is placed on rear, if you have a Vanguard with Kheios in its card name, discard a card from your hand, soul charge 1, and call this card to rear guard, and it gets boost, providing a card to potentially boost the Makane on the field while still having the setup, since you'll be placing it on the rear guard from your soul. And for the other grade 2s that I run in the deck, the 1 copy of Amazing Frost for the additional power and draw, just by being able to Soul Blast when it's placed on rearguard, and the 1 copy of Diverse Wild Master Honoratio for during your turn, if your soul has 8 or more cards with different card names, it gets boost as well, and plus 5,000 to provide additional power with our Gothmanoth to our Mekanes for the boost power. And if your soul has 8 or more cards, this card can also intercept from the back row and get shield plus 5,000. For the grade 1s, we're running 4 copies of Go Ahead Mekani. When it's placed on rear, you may soul charge 1. And on rear guard, if your Vanguard's grade 3 or greater, put it into the soul. Choose up to 1 grade 3 with Mekani and its card name from your soul and call it to rear guard. So just another way to set up the other more important grade 3 for the multiple attacks that it can provide. And from the soul, when you would count the number of different cards in your soul, all Go Ahead Mekani in your soul count as different names. So if you have 4 Mekane in your soul, that means you have 4 different named units. All the better for the fact that you may potentially soul charge 1 off of Go Ahead Mekani to begin with. And then also for some of the other grade 1 1-ofs, the 1 copy of Evil Eye Prohibition, Quen Lu, you put into the soul, choose one of your rear guards, it gets plus 2,000 to end of turn. Then if your soul has 7 or more cards, your opponent cannot call grade 1 or greater cards from their hand to the guard circle for that battle that their rear guard attacks this turn. So if you have a restanding Mekani rear guard, you can attack, have the guard restriction, restand it again, attack once more, since it's still the same unit that you chose with your Quen Lu. Also, the 1 copy of Friends of the Netherworld Ling for more of the soul option when placed on rear guard, choosing 1 card from among them, putting into your soul, and the rest on the bottom of the deck. So you don't have to risk, putting in any of your other cards, like your triggers, into the soul. The 1 copy of Steam Maiden Barney for the actual option to call out more resources to the field, and the 1 copy of the new Dancing Princess Celsia from the soul. When you play a normal order, you may call this card to rear guard. If you called a card, choose a card from your soul and put it into the drop zone. So it's just more if you need the resources. It's a varied option to call out onto the field. For our other grade 1s, being the Sentinels, running different name Sentinels, the 1 copy of Elentaria Sanctitude, the 1 copy of Psychic Prima Miranda, the 1 Repelled Malice Dragon, and the 1 Recusal Hate. You can always replace the Miranda with the Steam Maiden Arlim from the Chronojet deck, being a different card name with the same card ability as the Malice Dragon and the Recusal Hate Dragon, and being a different name. As long as you have 4 different name Sentinels, you should be fine with the deck. For our other orders that we run, 3 copies of 1 Who Governs Chaos, just being able to play this card with the counterblast, check in the top 5 of your deck, choose up the same number of cards as the number of cards in your soul with Chaos in their card name, so having a new unit with Chaos and the added option for that Persona ride as well gives you 4 cards to set up with just this 1 order. Then if your soul has 8 or more different cards, choose up to 1 card from your soul, call it to rear guards, and then you can also give the unit plus 10,000 power if it was a unit with Mekani in its name. And then also the 1 copy of Song of Extolment can be heard, choosing 3 normal units from your drop zone, putting them into the soul, and then putting this card on the bottom of the deck. If you just choose one of your Vanguards, it also gets plus 10,000 power. Just another great order for more drop zone soul setup. Instead, if you didn't have the 1 Who Governs the Chaos, for more of the deck search and setup. For the trigger lineup, we are running the 4 critical, so the 1 copy of Steam Deviate Dragon, the 1 copy of Lively Breath Dragon, the 1 copy of the Diablo Skirls Mai Mai, and I have 1 of the new Bang Dream. I was just looking for another trigger, and it does count as a trigger to run in the deck, and a different named one at that. Also, we are running the 4 draws, so the 1 copy of Riley, 1 copy of Vital Lever, 1 copy of Diablo's Boys Jake, and the 1 copy of Insane Researcher. So 4 draws and 4 critical, with us also running 3 fronts, so 1 copy of Natalia, 1 copy of Kilian, and the 1 Huckle Hustle for our front triggers. For the heels, the 1 copy of the Brilliant Floral Uliana, 1 copy of Diablo's Girls Ariana, 1 copy of Alexandra, and the 1 copy of the Steam Skara for the heels, with our overtrigger just for the aesthetic choice, the Terrifying Wicked Dragon King for the same overtrigger power. You can try some of the new Cray Elemental ones we got from the Festival Booster, but I'm still a fan of this one to use in the deck. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed. Always fun to update Kheios. It feels like it changes a lot with the different units that you want to run in the deck to begin with, and just the overall consistency of making sure you have set up no matter what the card you may have in your hand. And as always, until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira Qualia out.